Welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Mike Can, and I'm here to share one of the most valuable things I can think of, which is how to help us remember and practice and enjoy being in flow state. That state of grace, of simplicity, where we feel most ourselves with the people that we most feel at home with, connected with nature, which is what we are made of and come from, and in some sense are here to serve, e- even unconsciously, simply by living the lives that we do and evolving and so on. So I did one of these on intimacy with self, and today I want to tackle maybe the most challenging one so far, which is intimacy with your beloved. So this is very specific. There's intimacy with nature. There's a kind of friend closeness that one could call intimacy, but I'm speaking very specifically of love relationship with your partner, your spouse, or however you call it. And I'm by no means an expert, and you know there's not one right way that anyone could say, and you and your beloved are the people who know you and your relationship best. And so there are things that that you may not be able to explain to anyone, but there's just how it is and what you need to do. And sometimes it's fun to have new ideas or an outside person even to guide you into um, a practice that can bring you a little closer and with new understanding. So you can listen to this solo, um, thinking of your beloved, or you can listen to it with them if they're interested. So I want you to just stop and drop in the usual tools that we use, noticing the breath and allowing the breath to slow down, savoring just that little extra bit of breath in and allowing just that little extra bit of breath out, feeling the weight of your body deposit itself onto the chair, the bed, the floor, wherever you are, the earth. It's a very nice one. And just in your own space, just think of one thing that is like, this is me. This is just who I am. An energy, a flavor. See yourself living everyday life. What's one little thing that's maybe it's how you move or an activity you like to do or even your favorite drink or something. What is one special thing that is just you? And now, what is one element of nature that just brings you home? It can be a green space somewhere, it can be simply the sound of the rain, the changing of the seasons. What's something in nature that just feels right to you? And now, thinking of your beloved, What's one thing about them that just feels so natural and so right? The sound of their voice, the silent feeling of their presence, the quality of their touch, something in their body, how they are with people. This is a meeting place of your sense of joyful, healthy energy and theirs. So it's not feeling right because they're doing something for you at a sacrifice to themselves, which sometimes is okay. It's not even feeling right because it's something about them that you know brings them so much wellness, regardless of how it affects you. It's really the meeting place where you find peace and joy and opportunity with them, and there's a good chance that they do with you. Breathing that in. Think of one more thing about them that is just so truly them that you love, regardless of whether you share it with them. Think of your happiness at seeing them well. Think of your safety and happiness at feeling that you're well together and feeling that you're well in your own body with them. So if you're doing this meditation with them now or going to do it later, I want to say a word about um, really cultivating a space of safety, which is safe for each person and safe for the relationship to breathe and to expand and to be honest, which leads to growing. Beautiful path of each person growing on their path and the relationship growing as a shared path. I'm sure these are things that just intuitively you and they know how to do for each other and for the relationship, but just holding that intention, no matter what the gesture is, that intention to keep safety. And safety also allows healthy risk taking when it's appropriate. So it's really the whole dynamic range of relating that we are allowing when we have this root this rootedness in healthy nature, in wishing each other to be really well. What is it in moments that are a bit frayed between you, or when they're a little frazzled, that can bring back that secure, good feeling? Is it that they or you just know good things to say in those moments, or have a way of touching, or sitting still and just allowing them to be? What is it? We all have many of these gifts. And in a moment, I want you to think of a natural element or environment. So it could be like, the waters, the ocean, the river, the lake, the rain. It could be a certain place in the forest or the mountains or something, or the park nearby, your own backyard if you have one or whatever. A place which is safe and natural for both of you as best you can tell. And I invite you, and both of you, if you're doing this together, to imagine yourselves in that place. And at some point, you can also physically go to that place if it's possible and repeat this whole practice from the beginning. But even without being able to go there, we have the ability to put our minds there and to feel it in our body and our spirit. Feel all the little elements of it, the calmingness, maybe a little bit of bubbly life energy, refreshing, interesting. Feel that from the top of your head down to your feet and in this kind of space of protection around you and around both of you. The energy of the nature moving through you abundantly, so that even if you have a difficult uh, moment or period, it's not like you're going to exhaust it or spend it. It just keeps flowing. It keeps, the earth keeps feeding into you, or whatever elements it is. Feel that natural life, what some people call chi or prana or whatever. Nature life coursing through you and your space together. You can also think of it in another context as protecting your children, your home, um, your pets, your extended family, even your community. But it's a little bit easier to start small. And over time, the invitation is for you to practice specifically these last 3 or 4 minutes of really getting in touch with that feeling. It will deepen and deepen and deepen as a natural feeling within you that you come back to without even having to try to sometimes. It needs much more space than I can allow with this recording. So again, you can pause and continue with this as long as you need and then resume the recording, or you can just remember it and do it later. And in a moment from this place of rest and security and health and abundance, we're going to imagine something that is difficult between us and our beloved. And you can, if you're doing this together, you can each take a turn naming something and then doing the following exercise. So the invitation is you ask your beloved in a moment to tell you what the thing is, or if they're not there, you imagine what it is. And pay attention to your body when you first hear that, remembering that natural grounding and home. And maybe you can still feel there's a little micro shock sometimes that we can experience. Um, wondering, oh, is this going to be painful for me or dangerous for us or whatever, So just feeling that micro shock at the same time as you feel the calm and the security of nature and breathing, taking a full round of breath in and pause and out and pause before even thinking, never mind responding. Do you feel how being rooted in yourself, in nature, and in your relationship um, makes it easier to hear these things without losing yourself? Acknowledging to yourself and to the other person that you heard, thanking them for daring to speak honestly, which is a kind of love and trust and a willingness to grow and to continue in some way. And then if you feel you have the space for it, to ask them to tell you more. And just stay with yourself, stay with them, stay with the nature and what is best for the relationship through this time. Just go as far as you can. It can be done in little moments. It can be revisited later, or sometimes it's so difficult we can't say when we're going to be able to revisit it, but we're creating possibilities here. And there is something yeah, quite magical that happens, quite transformative when we hear each other out. And again, it doesn't have to all be in one moment. It can be over time. Now there are much more skilled tools out there, by professional therapists and spiritual guides and so on, which I encourage you to also, um, yeah, uh, enjoy and rely on when you feel the need. And for things these simple meditations can't do. And return to that feeling of the grounding and the nature and the silence and the breathing and all those things together when you've had a good exchange. The world might feel a little bit shifted and hopefully still basically okay. And it can take time for things, meaningful new openings and vulnerable shares and dangerous edges to kind of sink in and find their place in our spirits and in the space between us. So a good night's sleep and some solitude and some other things can be helpful sometimes. And over time, I hope you'll find that you become more at ease with conflict. And the field of what is safe for you to relate in with your beloved, it becomes much bigger, much less pressure, um, accepting, curious, even excited for the next steps in life. And this can also be practiced with things that are going super well with you, that you love. Um, to give each other appreciation, to, as a discipline for yourself, to remember what it is that um, something additional that you haven't appreciated lately. What else do you appreciate about them? And to then name it to them. It also builds this foundation. Uh, and the foundation is not so much like the concrete foundation of a home, let's say, but it's the moving plates of the earth that, even though there are tremendous forces beneath them, somehow on the surface, it's pretty livable most of the time and will last pretty much forever. The cultivation of this space of safety and really being yourself and the other person also, and your relationship really being itself takes time. But then, what's the rush? Hopefully, the quality of your devotion to each other is enough that you have time, you foresee growing in an organic way. Exploring those questions of what are we here for? Who am I? What do we want to do together? What do we want to discover? How can we support each other as independent people? How can we create something together beyond what either can create apart? I mean, assuming this is a relationship that you feel is worthwhile. It's a bit of a longer meditation today, but I want to take another few minutes to speak specifically about the physical intimacy that I see as the deeper, more satisfying intimacy that is facilitated by this emotional intimacy and spiritual intimacy. Again, there are many resources out there for um, yeah, thinking about and practicing what is can be such a vulnerable a place. It can bring us such joy, can be hurtful, can be hard sometimes even just know where to begin. And there are also in a longer relationship phases of reinventing ourselves and reinventing ourselves together, which hopefully you have space to do. You know some of how you like to be touched and give touch, and so do they. And you have certain sharings that are kind of a home, and there can be discoveries along the way. And sometimes there can be times where we feel both that we are fully ourselves and we feel that they are really being honest with us and going for what they love and being who they are, which is already wow. And we are in this space together where it's like we are dissolved. We are, it's a, have you ever had that feeling where it's kind of timeless? It doesn't matter what you do, you just feel connected. You feel happy. The weights are off your shoulders. Your usual thoughts, for some reason, are gone. The mind is almost empty. Have you ever felt that? If you haven't yet felt it with your beloved or with a beloved, maybe you felt it playing a sport or playing music or being in nature. Conjure that feeling of being fully yourself and fully immersed. And there's no place you would rather be. Ask your beloved if you feel like it and if they feel like sharing what that space, what some of those spaces are for them. For we want them to be in that happy, immersed well, creative, um, blown away by life kind of state, at least sometimes. And when you find that place together, whether you've been there already and it will be a return, whether you always feel yourself in that space, whether you haven't been there yet and it will come one day, um, the same usual tools for yourself and whatever tools they have, breathing life into it, slowing down, noticing all the senses, touch, taste, smell, sight, feeling the temperatures, warm, cool, light, dark. And then beyond all these things that we can name, there's a kind of a nameless space. We can experience it as very exciting and ecstatic and happy. We can experience it as very quiet and invisible. And I invite you to safeguard this space when you find it. It's not much to do, just the intention to respect it as, it took a lot to get there in a lot of cases. Breathe with it, let it come, let it go. Over the course of many hours together, you may find that there are times that you feel more in the moment, other times you phase out, but you can come back to it. Um, at least that's been my experience. And it's like anything else. No need to chastise ourselves when we lose the feeling a little bit or try to get it back. Just staying, staying where we are, um, staying in just trying. We're all learning to trust, right? And, being kind to yourself and being very forgiving to the other person as well. The little openings in these moments of seeing each other, yeah, very plain. Coming home to ourselves, seeing each other with fresh eyes, and this is a wonderful practice for allowing the relationship to prosper, both to just be itself and to grow. And from here, soon I will leave it to you to continue however long you wish today with this practice, to let it go, come back to it another time. Trusting that you know how is a good way to be with yourselves and with each other. I hope this has brought you value. Thank you so much.